Good morning, students. Today I'm talking about the term directors of a company. And directors holds a very important position in the company as a part of the managing body of the company, as a part of the management and administration of the company. For first, we have to know the term who is the directors of the company, who is the term directors of the company. As the term defined as per section 2 subsection 34 of the Companies Act 2013, director means a director appointed by the board of a company. So that person appointment is done by the board of a company. So board is responsible, consisting of so many members of the board, uh, uh, responsible for the appointment of the directors of the company. So as per this section 2 subsection 34 of Companies Act 2013, a director means any person who is act as director of the company, appointed by the board of the company. So appointed by the board of directors of the company, the appointment of director. So his or her appointment is made by the BOD of the company. So directors are the persons appointed to direct and supervise the affairs of the company, and that is internal affairs of the company, internal management of the company. We directors to run the big companies. In case of proprietorship, partnership, we don't need directors. But in case of large scale company, big companies, multinational companies, we need directors to run the big company. Large scale companies, we need directors, we need persons to manage the internal affairs of the company, internal management of the company, administration of the company. So we need persons who have ability to direct or instruct or supervise the uh, activities of the company. So directors, they are the substantial shareholders of the company. They have an interest in the company, have a stake in the company. Those who are not independent, excluding independent directors, they are excluded from this condition, having interest or stake in the company, because they are independent directors of the company. They are independent from their dependent directors of the company. Section 149 of the Companies Act states that every company shall have a board of directors consisting of individuals as director, and shall have a minimum of 3 directors in case of public company, 2 directors in case of private company, and 1 director in case of OPC, that is a one-person company. These are the conditions as specified in the Companies Act, section 149, about the minimum and maximum numbers of directors to be required in the case of public company or private company or one-person company. So every company shall have a BOD, shall have board of directors of the company, including individuals as directors of the company. Then point number B, maximum of 15 directors is in case of is can have maximum 15 directors in case of public limited company. A company may appoint more than 50 directors after passing a special resolution to that effect. We can appoint more directors in the company, but maximum limit is 15 directors. But if a company wish to appoint more than 50 directors, then company has to pass a resolution to that effect in the meetings of the company. Then the class of companies may be prescribed shall have at least one woman director. So you have at least in the board of directors, one director must be women directors in the company. In the class of companies, as we prescribed under the Companies Act 2013, shall have at least one woman director in the company board. In the constitution of company board, one member must be a woman director. This is as per the law. We require women participation in the company board. We should have encourage women to be a part of the board of management of the company. And for that purpose, this clause has been included in the Companies Act that allows one woman to be a part of the management of the company, part of the board of the company. Now, women is running the company board. taking important decisions of the company, policy making of the company, budget formulation of the company, strategy formulation of the company. Because women now are in picture, women are everywhere in every field, and to encourage to women empowerment, this clause has been inserted in the Companies Act uh, to have women participation, to have women representation in the company board. One director must be woman director in the boards of the company. Then point number D, every company shall have at least one director who has stayed in India for a total period not less than 182 days in the previous calendar year. Meaning is that every company shall have at least one director who has stayed in India for a total period of not less than 182 days in the previous calendar year. That is the requirement to be stayed in India to be a director of the company. That person must be a resident of India to be director of Indian public Indian companies in the previous calendar year. So that ensures your to be a part of the uh, managing board committee of the board committee, constitutions of the board committee, to be a person who has stayed in India for a total period of 182 days, not less than 182 days in the previous calendar year. That is a requirement. That is a requirement to be a part of the managing board of the company. That is essential, you can say, condition for a person to be appointed as a director of the company. Then point number E is every listed public company shall have at least 1/3 of the total number of directors, as the independent directors and central government may prescribe the minimum number of independent directors in case of any class of companies, that is public limited companies. So every listed company, public company, at least 1/3 of total number of directors as independent directors. Means out of 3 directors, one must be independent directors in the company, and the central government may prescribe the minimum number of independent directors in case of any class or classes of public companies. Then come to types of directors in a company. There are so many types of directors, or kinds of directors in a company, or you can say classification of directors in a company, categorization of directors in the company. All are same. Types of directors, classification of directors, categorization of directors, all are same. So executive directors or WTD, whole-time directors of the company. An executive directors or whole-time director is the senior executive or officer of the company, and he or she is responsible for a day-to-day functioning of a company. So the director is executive director or WTA director, is the senior executive officer of the company, and he is responsible for the day-to-day management of the company, day-to-day administration of a company, and is entrusted with the management responsibilities, and he or she name is in the payroll of the company. He or she name should be registered in the company as a executive director of a company. So that is a type of directors, that is whole-time directors of the company. They are in full-time employment. Full-time is full-time. Full-time employment with the company. The full-time directors, they are not part-time directors. They are full-time directors with the company, and they are come under the category of executive directors, not non-executive. They are the executive directors of the company. Okay. Or you can say they come under the category dependent also, the dependent directors of the company. So they are responsible for the day-to-day affairs of the company, and they are responsible for the management administration of the company, and their name should be registered uh, with the company. The name should be on the payrolls of the company, and he or she is act as a officers of the company. They are the officers of the company. Uh, so they are responsible for the following and non-following of the sections of the Companies Act as a whole-time director of the company, or you can say executive directors of the company. Then come to the managing director. Managing director is a term defined company must have two, only one, either managing director or manager. If managing director is there is no need for manager. If manager is there is no need for the managing director. So MD is the senior most full-time executive of the company, and he or she is responsible for the performance of the company. So MD is the senior most full-time executive positions in the company. That is managing director of the company. He is a full-time employee of the company, like full-time directors of the company, and he or she, because now women are in picture, women are in the company board, women representation is in the company board. That's why she is mentioned in the term managing director. She can be a managing director, he can be a managing director, and is responsible for the performance of the company. As the positions defined as managing director of the company. Then come to the promoter's director. The name is promoter director, and the promoter director is one who has control over the affairs of the company directly or indirectly, whether as a shareholder of the company or directors of the company or otherwise. So promoter director is a person who has a control over the affairs of the company or the management of the company directly or indirectly has a control, and whether as in the capacity of shareholder of the company or as a director of the company or otherwise. So director also, you can see, we know that director is also a shareholder of the company. Director will also have a stake in the company, interest in the company, have a capital contribution into the company, and directors are substantial shareholders of the company. So whether in the capacity or the shareholders of the company or directors of the company or otherwise, promoter director is the one who has a control in their hands over the management of the company, either directly or indirectly. Then come the term non-executive directors of the company. This is also another type of directors. And non-executive directors is a person who has a part-time director positions in the company, but that person is not executive. Executive means full-time job. That is non-executive means part-time job. That is a part-time job. So non-executive director is a person who has a part-time director positions on the board, and he or she is involved in the day-to-day operations of the company. Although his or her appointment is part-time, but they are responsible for the management of the day-to-day affairs of the company or day-to-day operations of the company. So a non-executive director is a person who has a part-time director positions on the board, but they are responsible for the management of the company. Then come the term independent director, very important term. Independent directors of the company hold a very important positions in the company, very important officer of the company. Although he is come under the category of non-executive directors of the company, who does not have any pecuniary financial relationship with the company and does not related with the promoters or management of the company, that person is independent. Not have any connections with the company, any employees of the company, any directors of the company. So no any personal connection with any person, no any interest in the company, no any stake in the company, and that person is called as independent directors of the company, and they are come under the category of non-executive directors of the company, who does not have any relationship, whether pecuniary by nature, financial by nature, with the company, and he or she is not related with the promoters of the company, management of the company. That person can give his independent opinion, independent judgment on any decisions taken in the meeting, board meeting, as independent directors of the company. Then come to the another type of director, that is women directors on the board. As the name specify, women's it means that woman director means that directorship is held by the woman in the company board as director of the company, and that person is called as woman director in the company, but that person is woman. So just to why this clause has been added in the company law to ensure great participation or movements in the board of the company. So we allowed at least one person to be a director in the company board as a woman director. So this is introduced this term in the Companies Act to enable the inductions or introductions of at least one woman on the board of some categories of companies. So, women directors, that is objective behind the insertion of this clause in the Companies Act to ensure greater participation of women in the company board. Then come to the term nominee directors. And nominee director is also a non-executive director of the company who is appointed, nominated by institution that has a substantial interest in the affairs of the company and is appointed by the central government or any financial institutions or a bank or some specific classes of shareholders by virtue of the shareholdings in the company, and while acting in the interest of the company is expected to ensure that interest of the nominating organization is not compromised in the functioning of the company. So very important term in this respect of nominee director is he is a non-executive director of the company appointed by or nominated by institutions as their nominee. Suppose State Bank of India appointed their nominee in the company board as nominee director of the company of the institution. So that person is called as the nominee director representing that particular organization in the company board. So that person is called as nominee of that particular organization. Whether nominee central government appointing their nominee in the company board, that person is called as a nominee director. Or we can say financial institutions, banks and all, they can appoint the person in the company board as the representative as a nominee director in the company, or any specific class of shareholders, minority shareholders, they can appoint their representative in the company board as a nominee director of the particular class of shareholders, or by virtue of the shareholdings in the company, these persons can appoint their nominee as nominee directors in the company. So he or she must act in the interest of the company and is expected to ensure that interest of the nominating organization is also not compromised. I mean, they are working for the interest of both these two organizations. One is company who is appointing that person as nominee director, who representing that the company from which he or she is appointed for that particular position. So their role is to ensure that the interest of both the organization, whether the company who is appointing you as nominee director and the company from where you are appointing as nominee director, it should not be compromised at any cost. Uh, that should be taken care of by the nominee directors of the company. Then come to the term resident directors. Resident director is a director who has resided in India for not less than 182 days in the previous calendar year. So that person is called as a resident director in a company who has resided in India for not less than, that is a time limit for your, that it shows your that you are the resident of India. The time limit is not less than 182 days in the previous calendar year. So the Companies Act 2013 requires each board to have at least one director as a resident director in this particular category of director, and that person who resides in India for not less than 182 days, that person is called as the resident director. Then come to the next term, that is small shareholders director. A small shareholder director is an independent director and is selected by the small shareholders of the company as per the Companies Act 2013. Listed companies are at liberty to appoint small shareholders directors upon the request of a minimum 1,000 small shareholders or 1/10 of the total shareholders, whichever is lower. So they can appoint their nominee as small shareholder director in the company boards, uh, or the company can appoint on the request of the small shareholders a director on the request of minimum of 1,000 shareholders or 1/10 of the total shareholders to be representing their interest in the company board, whichever is lower. So again, I repeating this line: a small shareholders director is an independent director elected by the small shareholders of the company. So they are responsible for the election of the small shareholders director. They are representing small shareholders in company board meetings. So they are attending board meetings as a representative of the small shareholders of the company as per Companies Act 2013. Or company is at liberty to appoint small shareholder directors on the request of a minimum of 1,000 small shareholders or 1/10 of the total shareholders, whichever is lower. Then come to the term alternate directors. Alternate director is a person who acts as a director for a temporary period. That is alternate director. Suppose you're not able to present due to some health condition, so company appoint in your place some alternate director. So your only appointment is for a temporary period. After his or her joining as a director of the company, uh, then you have to vacate your place of office immediately to that effect. When the person who not able to join because of his health conditions, but after treatment now he is in a good condition, so that person can join. So you have to vacate your place of office as alternate director because you joined for a temporary period. So immediately after his joining, you have to vacate your place of office. So as alternate director is a person who acts as director for a temporary period. That is a temporary. That is not for a fixed period, or that is not for a regular period. Your appointment is for a temporary period. When a director is absent for more than 3 months, he or she can appoint as alternative directors to fill his or her positions till he or she resumes his or her office. So alternate director is a person who acts as director for a temporary period. And when a director is absent for more than 3 months, he or she can appoint an alternative directors to fill his or her position till he or she resumes his or her office. That is a you'd say know about the term, should know about the term. As a student, as a researcher, you should know the term alternate director, who person who can act as a alternate directors of the company, and their position is for a temporary period, not for a permanent period. After the joining of the office by the director of the company, main director of the company, and he or she has to vacate his place of office. Then come to the term additional directors. So any director, whether first appointed to a board, is an additional director, and he or she hold office till the conclusion of the next general meeting, and his appointment is approved by the shareholders or members of the company. So additional directors is a person appointed by the board as additional directors to hold the office till the conclusion of the next general meetings of the company, and his appointment must be approved by the shareholders or members of the company. So that person is called as the additional directors as per the requirement of the company. Company can appoint additional directors in the company boards, and his time limit, duration of the place of office till the conclusion of the next general meeting, unless until his term for the appointment is approved in the next general meetings of the company. So any director, when first appointed to a board, is a additional director because his term is temporary for a period of 1 year, and his reappointment must be approved in the next annual general meeting. So he or she has to vacate his place of office if he or she is not reappointing in the next forthcoming meeting of the directors of the company, because directors are the persons who are appointed by the directors of the company, who are appointed by the BOD of the company. In the board meetings, their appointment is uh, approved, and it must be passed. It must be passed in the general meetings of the company or the shareholders as well, that he or she is appointed as director of the company. It must be passed to that effect in the general meetings of the company to give it to effect of his appointment. That makes your appointment a valid appointment. You can challenge in the court of law that your appointment is made after passing a resolution to that effect in the meetings of the company, signed by the members of the company, and attested with the common seal of the company. So, if the appointment of additional director is not approved by the members, then his or her term comes to an end with the general meetings. So appointment is only up to the conclusion of first annual general meeting, and if the appointment is not approved, then you have to vacate your place of office immediately after the issue of the order for your uh, vacating your place of office. Immediately you have to vacate your office if your appointment is not reappointing. Then types of directors. Another type of director, that is interested directors. And interested director is a term specified is a person who is in any way interested in a contractor arrangements with the company, uh, whether by himself or through his relative or a firm, body corporate or other association. That person is called as interested director because he is interested in the management of the company, he is interested in the contract with the company, he is interested in the arrangements with the company, either by himself or by his relatives, or by a firm or a body corporate or other association. So that person is called as the interested directors of the company. They are interested in their to be a part of the management or administration of the company, and they are interested to be part of the board of the company. Uh, so, so they can become any company, any body corporate. This is a name mentioned. Any company, any body corporate, any other association, they can be a part of the managing committee, a part of the board of the company, to be a interested directors in the company. So, because they are interested in the affairs of the company, they are interested in the internal management of the company. So, they are categorized under the category of the term interested directors of a company. Then completed term shadow directors. Shadow director is a person, usually a holder of a majority stake of a company, and but not its director, and but whose directions and instructions are followed by the directors of the company. So they are the called it as a shadow director of of a company, and they are the holder of the majority interest in the company. They have majority capital contribution to the company in the form of shares in the company, but not its director, but whose directions and instructions are followed by the directors of the company. If they are acting as shadow, they are act behind you, they are channelizing you, they are instructing you, they are directing you, do in this manner, do in that manner. So just behind you, just channelizing you, regulating you. Do this, say this, don't say this, do this, don't do this. Just regulating you, just dictating you. So, and you are blindly following that person, and that person is called as your shadow director. You usually holders of a majority stake of a company, but not its director. Actually, he is not a director. Suppose you are not a director of the company, but you are directing someone else. As a friend or relative, as a uh, another person, very good. You have very good connection with that person who is the director of a company. In that case, you have to uh, follow the instructions as you are instructed by the shadow director of the company, and you are following him blindly. You are following him blindly. Uh, so that person is called as the shadow person. Means you are working under someone else's direction and under someone else's uh, instructions, under someone else's control, and that person is not a director, but that person guiding you, that person channelizing you. That person is called a shadow director. As the name specifies this, but not its director, but whose direction instructions are followed by the directors of the company. Suppose you respect that person, you give regard to that person, his in that capacity, his personality is like that, you give regard to that person, and you obey his order instruction, although he or she is not a director of the company, but you obey his instructions like a director of the company. So that person is not a director in actual sense, but you obey and respect his guidance and instruction. In that case, that person is called as the shadow director of the company. Then come to the term appointment of director. Appointment director is made in the following manners. There are certain conditions for the appointment of directors of the company. As per the Companies Act, section 152, subsection 1 of the Companies Act 2013. Appointment of directors, there are certain procedures for the appointment of directors of the company, and that should be made in the following manners. Appointment of first director of the company, that is to be immediately after the incorporation of the company, after the commencement of the company. Director to be first appointed by the company, and they are the first directors of the company, usually appointed by the promoters or founder members of the company in the manner as specified in the company articles of association of the company, and their name is usually given in the company's articles. So when the articles do not provide for the appointment of first directors, the signatory to the memorandums or subscribers to the memorandum, who are individuals in case of one-person company, or individuals being a member, shall be deemed to be the first directors of the company, subject to the regulations of the company articles. So it is regularized. It is regularized by the articles and session of the company, appointment of the first directors of the company, and because it is after incorporation, it is done immediately after incorporation, after commencement, obtain a certificate of commencement of business by the public limited company. So the appointment is done by the promoters of the company, or you can say founder members of the company, or you can say subscribers to memorandum who signs the MOA of the company, and they are responsible. The individuals, in case of one-person company, being a member, shall be deemed to be the first directors of the company, because it is a one-person company. One person acts as a director of the company, signed by himself, attested to the common seal of the company. Because it is one-person company, it is OPC. But subject to the objections are there. Subject to the regulations of the company article section 52 subsection 1 of the Companies Act 2013.